In this video, we're going to replace the AC condenser in this 2012 Mitsubishi Outlander. You will want to take your vehicle down to a local mechanic or repair shop and have your system fully vacuumed out. So we're going to remove these 4 clips. You're going to grab a panel tool. You're going to pry out. It's a 2-piece clip. Pry up the top. Once you pry up the top far enough, it should come up. Now we have our 4 clips out. We're going to remove this plastic shield. Just lift up and it slides under this front gasket and underneath this front latch. So you'll have to pry it straight up. I'm going to go ahead and remove there's 2 bolts holding the top of the bumper in. They're 10 millimeters. I'm going to go ahead and remove those now. There would be 1 more bolt straight down behind the hood latch. Our vehicle did not come with it. There should be 1 more bolt straight down here. Clips on the fender well holding the bumper. Phillips and another Phillips. Just going to go ahead, without pressing too hard, unscrew these. And then go ahead and get your panel tool. Go ahead and pry them out. And repeat the process for the other side. So we have a couple more clips along the bottom of the bumper, holding the bumper to the vehicle and the splash shield. We're going to go ahead and remove those now. There are some bolts across the bottom also. We'll get those after. We have these bolts holding this splash shield in, okay, with a 10 millimeter socket. We're going to go ahead and remove these 2 clips. So go ahead and grab your panel tool, pry them out. Once your clips are removed from the sides, the top, and the bottom, you're going to go ahead and grab the side of your bumper. There's some clips in here we're going to pull out, just like that. And we're going to do the same thing on the driver's side. So once you've gotten the bolts out from the bottom, there's 1 more bolt hiding behind here. Just take a trim tool, pop this cap off. And we'll go ahead and remove that bolt. So with a 10 millimeter socket, we're going to remove this last bolt holding the bumper in place. You have one last electrical connector right here behind the front grille. Go ahead and squeeze the clip and separate the plug. Now you're ready to remove the front bumper. If you have a second set of hands, have somebody grab a side, you grab the other side. If not, grab it from the center and just pull straight back away from the vehicle. We're going to remove this electrical connector right here. I'm going to use a pick tool, just press down and pull out. Just want to take a look at it, make sure it's not corroded, your connections look good, and set that aside. We're going to loosen up this nut, remove this line. I'm going to do that with a 10mm socket. I'm going to remove this nut here off of this line and use a 10mm socket. I'm going to remove this line here from this clip. We will end up reusing the clip, so if you happen to take the clip out at the same time, that's okay. It just pops right out. Now from here we can follow this line up and back it off of the condenser, like so. Set that aside. So now we're going to remove this line from the condenser. If we need a little help, use a pry tool. If not, just pop straight back. I'm going to follow this line straight up and remove it from this clip. If the clip comes with the line, that's okay, we'll reuse it. If not, just pull straight out off the clip, like so. Our clip came with it, that's okay. So in here, if you follow your condenser on the sides straight up, you'll find these two top clips. What you have to do is pry to the back of the vehicle. We're going to use a long screwdriver and pry these clips back, and then with the other hand lift your condenser straight up like so. On both sides, repeat the process. So to remove our AC condenser straight up and out, we have to remove this top panel. We're going to start by removing this first bolt here. It's a 10mm. These two here, also 10. And this one here. Repeat that for the other side, and we can lift this panel up enough to get our AC condenser out. After you've got your bolt out of your headlight here, there are two more in the center. So our bolt is just spinning. We're going to put a little outward pressure on it, pry bar, while backing it out. Now that you have all your bolts out across the top here, you can just lift it up, and that'll gain you enough clearance to grab your condenser and lift straight up on both sides out of the bottom clips. Now you can lower it straight down. Be careful not to damage the fins on your radiator. Our condenser came with two new studs. We're going to thread these in, short side in. Get them as tight as you can. When you tighten down your nut onto the stud in the final assembly, keep an eye that that threaded all the way in. So the last thing we have to swap over is this clip for our AC line. So we'll go ahead and flip it over. Now we can squeeze that tab and pull it straight out. And now we can reinstall our clip into our new condenser. All right, so we're going to install our new AC condenser. It's going to go in from the bottom and clip in to our two clips left and right. Just take your time and don't hit your radiator. You will get to a certain point where you will have to lift your top support. We've come to that point now, so we'll just slightly lift our top support and get our clips in place. And what you want to do is go by your bottom clips, make sure those are in place. Like so. Now what we can do is push back, lift up. So we can see now that our driver's side still needs to go into this clip here. We'll push up the bottom, get that in place. All right, so that's in place. We'll check our bottom, make sure it's still in place. We'll check the passenger side. All right. So now make sure our bottom is in place and our top is lined up and ready to go in. We can slowly push down, making sure our lines are free. And push down so you hear them and see them clip in. We'll do the same on the driver's side. This top plastic clip here for our line does not need to be transferred over, so we can remove that. And we'll start at the bottom, reattaching our AC lines. You want to seat your AC line into place and then slide your lock tab over, and we'll reinstall the nut now. So now we can reinstall our nut. You just want to make sure, give that a backwards tug, make sure that this stud spun all the way in and everything's tight. Looks good. Now we'll move and follow this line up to the top. We're going to seat this into this clip here. Just make sure it is where it needs to be. And then we'll take our other AC line, put this in place over the stud. You may have to work your condenser a little bit left and right just to get things to line up perfectly. I always just need a little shove left. So we're having a little issue lining up this top line in here nicely. What we're going to do is take out the stud. We're going to seat our AC line into the port, and then we're going to put our stud back in place. We're going to take our nut, and if you follow that line back down, we'll put the line back into the clip. Now we'll just reconnect our electrical connector, line it up, push it in place to hear a click. All right, now we'll reconnect our upper panel. Once you have these 4 bolts in, repeat on the other side. Now we install our bumper, center it up. What you want to do is get your top lined up so it's resting. And you want to thread in these 2 bolts so it's held in place while you work around the bumper. Let's go ahead and put these 10mm bolts in. Don't put them all the way in, give it a little room to wiggle. Now you can work on the bumper without it falling off the car. We're going to go ahead and reconnect our electrical connection in here. Just grab that connector and plug it back in. There would be another 10mm bolt here. Our car does not have it. And we're going to move to the side and clip it into the fenders. So now you're going to grab your bumper and you're going to pull out a little bit. You'll notice there's a piece in here. It has to slide into the groove on the bottom of the headlights. And this piece here has to slide in here. You will hear a click and you may have to push in with some force to get pieces to seat. Like that. And it's the same for the other side. One more 10mm bolt down the bottom to put in here. And then snap your cover in place. We're going to go ahead and reinstall these clips into the fender liner to the bumper. Here are your 2 Phillips head clips. The fender liner here goes inside the bumper. This tab stays on the outside, so I'll go ahead and line that up now. And push your clips in. And one straight up top. And the process for the other side is the same. Now we're going to go ahead and reinstall our 3 10mm bolts. Our vehicle has had some work done. Some of these don't line up. Yours should be fairly easy to line up. And now we'll go ahead and reinstall our plastic clips. Now that your bumper is secured at the fenders, secured down below, you know it's not going to go anywhere, go ahead and tighten these bolts down. Once these bolts are tightened down, you can go ahead and grab your plastic shield and reinstall that. Slide it over the latch handle. You'll have to guide this plastic underneath the rubber seal on both sides. And then go ahead and reinsert your 4 plastic clips.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.